February is National Eating Disorders Awareness Month. With that in mind, Eating Recovery Center here in Chicago is offering tips on how to spot signs that a friend or family member may have an eating disorder and how to best support them.
Dr. Ellen Astrachan Fletcher joins us now with more. And it's important to point out that this is actually a mental health disorder.
It is a mental health disorder that shows up physically, right? So it's a psychological disorder where people use their eating disorder symptomatology, binging, restricting, purging, to deal with their emotional distress, like great emotional distress. The problem is it ends up creating more emotional distress. And then it becomes this vicious vortex. Right, exactly.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And a lot of them, I feel like when you hear about like celebrities or people that have come out and said that they've struggled with eating disorders, you would have never been able to physically see them and tell.
Right. It can show up in all different body shapes, body sizes. Absolutely. Yes.
Are there triggering symptoms or things that I should say trigger these symptoms, or how is it that it comes about? Because it seems like you're not necessarily exhibiting these symptoms when you're a young child.
Right. Well, I love it when people say how do eating disorders develop, because it's a biopsychosocial theory, which basically means we don't know. We do know and we don't know, right? There's a biological component. So we know there are genetic predispositions. And things happen through puberty and things like that that affect our body. There's also that psychological component, right? So is the person more like outgoing, or are they more shy and reserved, perfectionistic, anxious, that type of thing? And then the social experiences in life, and what are the messages from the culture, right? And those things then lead to the development of an eating disorder potentially. Often a stressor kicks it off.
I mean, speaking about the culture, with social media so prominent these days, I mean, how is that affecting what you're seeing?
Right, absolutely. I mean, social media can be a great way to help people connect. And it can also be very dangerous because we are constantly blasted with these idealized images, these weight loss stories, right? And it's really hard. So when people are exposed to all of that on social media, they get these unrealistic expectations of their bodies, which inevitably they feel let down from, right?
So as a loved one or a friend of someone who is experiencing these, how can you, first of all, spot that they're going through this, and what can you do to help them?
I mean, the thing about spotting is often when someone is developing an eating disorder, they're actually trying to hide it and protect it. So actually it leads to lying about things. So you'll often see that in the beginning, justifying, I'm just trying to be healthy, I'm just trying to take care of myself. But what you will see is significant shifts in exercise, what they're eating. You'll also see emotional shifts. You might see someone withdrawing more, not spending time with the family or with their friends, or angry outbursts, or if plans change, they get really distressed. So you might see things like that starting to show up.
This time of year, I imagine it's got to be really hard to spot a lot of those things because people are like, oh, New Year's resolution, I'm going to lose weight.
Right.
So don't worry about me. I'm not doing anything drastic. I'm just on a diet.
Exactly. And that is used to justify actually really dangerous behavior.
How do you help them?
So the first thing, is to really just have a conversation with someone if you're worried. Let them know what you're seeing. No judgment. This is, I'm concerned, and here's why. Here's what I'm observing, and I'm worried about your physical as well as emotional well-being. And then really working with them to encourage them to seek help.
I imagine, I always think of like people who are morbidly obese and trying to lose weight. Food-related disorders have got to be the most difficult to cure because you need to have food.
You are so right. Yes, like substance abuse.
Right.
In psychobabble terms, we'll say it's ego dystonic, meaning no one wants to admit they have a substance abuse problem.
Right.
Eating disorders can be ego dystonic, meaning I'm proud I'm losing weight. This is something that makes me feel good about myself, and it just feeds it all the more.
Is there some place you can go to get tips on how to talk to someone or how to help them?
I mean, there are tons of programs, at Eating Recovery Center, we have so much education virtually that people can access. Other programs like ANED or IADEP, these are, free programs that you can access online. Just Google Get Eating Disorder Help.
Oh, wow.
Well, thank you, doctor.
Yeah.
So much important
My
information
pleasure.
there.
Yeah,
Thank
keep
you
an
so
eye
much
out.
for having me.
Thank
Yes,
you.
thank you.
Thank you.